Hello and welcome to BizBuzz Japan, bringing you the latest Japanese business trends. I'm John Kabira. Today's topic, stationery business. Yes, I know you may spend a lot of time in front of screens large and small, but you still use paper and writing gear. They're essential items. And Japan has built a reputation as an innovator, both in functionality and design. New products are constantly being developed, so let's look at what Japan can offer.
The stationery section of a Tokyo department store. It's full of tourists from overseas. Stationery makes for the perfect souvenir. Take this pen. At first glance, it looks like a normal highlighter, but it actually uses erasable ink. How about this eraser? The rubber shavings usually leave a mess, but you can tidy them up using a magnet. Iron sand is mixed into the eraser itself.
Japan has a wide range of stationery, and the quality here is much better.
Japanese stationery is a hit with international shoppers. Due to the declining population, the domestic market is shrinking, but exports grew by 37% in just 5 years.
So we're joined by two experts in the stationery business today in the studio. First, Bruce Iman, a workplace consultant specializing in Japanese stationery. Now, what's the appeal of Japanese stationery?
In one word, I would say innovation. In America, most people think that stationery peaked in the 50s, and there's been no change since. But in Japan, there's constantly new products every year. It's as rapid as web technology or the latest technology, around quality, functionality, and design. There's constant innovation, so there's a lot of interesting things going on.
Our second guest is Jesper Kohl, an economist who's spent over 30 years researching the Japanese economy. And your take on how special the Japanese stationery industry is.
I mean, it's alive, it's full of innovation, and actually it, I think, will have a great appeal because globally the population is growing, particularly here in Asia, and the need for self-expression, in little things, that's sort of something that characterizes Japan and that will catch fire in the rest of Asia. So I think, the innovation leading to commercial success, I think that the future of Japan's stationery business is actually very bright.
Okay. And what other items do you see in terms of quality going up?
Japanese paper is very unappreciated, both globally as well as in Japan. I think Japanese people take it for granted, but even the most basic school notebook that you can buy here is so much better than anything I can buy back in America. Because when you write on Japanese paper, you will notice immediately. I can't even describe by words, but it's a tactile feedback thing that's very obvious.
Yeah, and I mean, the other thing you've got to point out is that these stationery stores in Japan, they're basically competing with Disneyland. This is, you go there because it's fun to go there, you explore. Go there on a date, and you'll definitely get a lot of loving.
In America, all the products are in packages. The only thing you can do is look at them.
You can't
touch it, you can't use, so then it becomes a price war. I'm going to buy what's cheapest. Here in Japanese stationery stores, you can compare everything. There's paper there that you can write on, and then it becomes entertainment. Like Jasper says, it's an entertaining experience.
Right. Any other players out there that can compete with Japan?
From the European perspective, right? You've got the very high-end stuff, right? So if you want to spend, $250 for a fountain pen, probably Germany and France will have a couple of good offerings. But in terms of, this fun and easiness, right? European writing culture is sort of very serious. You sit down, you study. When you look at what goes on here in Japan, this is a fun writing culture. You're bubbling up, right? As opposed to sort of writing heavy philosophy.
You're trying to sell Japanese high-end stationery in the States.
Yes.
What's your sales pitch?
That's a very good point. It is a tough sell because conceptually, to Americans, stationery is a disposable product. If it doesn't work, you throw it away and pick up a new one. There's no personal attachment. But once, the way the Japanese people treat it as a tool, something that enriches their life. when I can convince them of that, then they start looking at it differently.
But I think that goes back to something that is very, very Japanese, which is this whole sense of craftsmanship, right? I mean, it's like going to an excellent restaurant. You will remember the taste, right, of that excellent food. So, it's this sensorial and the craftsmanship that comes together, and it brings joy, right, to individual human beings. Life.
A simple notebook gives you a much broader screen real estate, and it gives you the freedom to write diagonally, draw an arrow, circle something. And really, the depth of expression is so much greater than digital devices. This stimulates very little. This wakes everything up.
We've been seeing what the Japanese stationery industry can offer worldwide. What do you expect more from the Japanese stationery industry?
With technology invading our lives, all the routine work is being automated. So as machines take over, humans are expected to contribute more creativity. They want us to come up with innovative ideas, a different perspective. And really, creativity can really be enhanced by our full sensory experience. With high quality, highly crafted tools, I think that's a huge advantage for us to thrive in the future. And Japanese products are at the forefront of that.
Yeah, to be more human, to be as human as you can be. Because, writing a thank you note is not a big deal. I mean, it takes 5 seconds, right? We just want to define ourselves and, most importantly, get the respect and the cherishing from our fellow human beings, right? And that's, where stationery is just incredibly human. It's similar to me giving you a rose.
Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Since 2016, BizBuzz Japan has been bringing you the latest Japanese business trends. Sorry to say this will be our final episode. Thank you very much for watching our program over the past years. It's been a pleasure and honor to be the host of this show. So goodbye for now.